You've read the stories about Elon Musk, right? The billionaire, the genius, the guy who's basically a real-life Tony Stark. But what if I told you his real superpower isn't success? What if it's failure? Today, we're going to forget the highlight reel and instead unpack the blueprint he built from his absolute biggest disasters. So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about success from failure. Then we'll dive into the world-changing vision that drives him. After that, we'll look at the moment it all nearly came crashing down, see the final crazy bet he made, and then pull out the key lessons from all this that you can actually use. All right, let's jump right in with Section 1, Success from Failure. Before we even get to the cool rockets and electric cars, we have to totally shift how we think about Elon Musk. This isn't about the wins. It's about what happens in the shadows, behind the scenes. So on one hand, you've got the myth we all see, the billionaire, the genius, this untouchable icon. But on the other hand, you have the secret ingredient that powers the whole thing, failure. Just brutal, repeated, painful failure. His real genius might not be in the engineering, but in his insane ability to take the wreckage of a disaster and turn it into rocket fuel. Okay, so that brings up a pretty big question, right? Why on earth would anyone willingly sign up for that much failure? And that leads us straight to our second point. The engine behind all of it is a world-changing vision. And we're not talking about simple business goals. This is a deep conviction he's had for a long, long time. Yeah, this wasn't some mission statement cooked up in a corporate retreat. This started way back when he was a kid, totally obsessed with science fiction. He had this core belief that for humanity to have a future, our destiny couldn't just be on Earth. It had to be out there, among the stars. And that one idea, it became the North Star for pretty much everything he would ever do. And check this out. Look at how that vision plays out in his companies. They aren't just separate businesses. Each one is a tool to solve a massive problem. Tesla isn't really about selling cool cars. It's about breaking our addiction to fossil fuels to save this planet. SpaceX isn't just a rocket company. It's the transportation system to get us to another planet. Even Neuralink is about upgrading humanity itself. They're all answers to existential threat. But here's the thing. When you chase goals that big, you're also inviting risks that big. And this grand vision didn't lead him to immediate success. It led him right to the edge, the absolute brink of total catastrophic collapse. 3. Just let that number sink in. By the year 2008, this number represented 3 straight failures. 3 SpaceX rockets, one after another, launching and then exploding into a fireball, burning hundreds of millions of dollars with them. After the third one, they had just enough cash left for one more try. That's it. In 2008 was just a complete nightmare. It was the perfect storm. While SpaceX rockets were literally blowing up, the entire global economy was imploding. At the exact same time, his other baby, Tesla, was burning through cash and was just weeks away from going bankrupt. The press was calling him a con man, investors were running for the hills. Both of his life's dreams were dying at the exact same time. And this feeling wasn't exactly new to him. You have to remember, even with his first huge win, the company that became PayPal, he got kicked out. His own board fired him as CEO while he was away on his honeymoon. So this whole pattern of high-stakes failure and betrayal, it's been woven into his story from the very beginning. So what do you do? I mean, really, what do you do? Your companies are toast, the world thinks you're a joke, your bank account is almost at zero. Almost anyone would just give up. But this is the moment. This is where his entire philosophy was pushed to the absolute limit. It was time for one last bet. This quote, this right here, tells you everything you need to know about how his mind works. See, for him, failure isn't the end. It's not a stop sign. It's just data. It's information you can use. As long as he was still breathing, the game was still on. The only real way to fail was to quit. I mean, just try to wrap your head around that choice. Every single rational person, every advisor told him to just pick one company, cut his losses, and let the other one die to save something. He did the exact opposite. He took every last dollar he had from the PayPal sale and split it between both of his dying companies, leaving himself so broke he had to borrow money from friends just to pay his rent. It was a completely insane, all-or-nothing bet on himself and his vision. And of course, now we know how that gamble turned out. The 4th SpaceX launch was a success. Tesla got a last-second investment that saved it. The rest, as they say, is history. But the real story isn't just about what happened. It's about what we can learn from it. What's the actual blueprint here for the rest of us? His journey really given us a 4-step blueprint. Number 1, dream ridiculously big. Set goals that sound kind of crazy right now. 2, accept failure. In fact, expect it. See it as a part of the process, not the end of it. 3, match that massive dream with an absolutely insane work ethic. And 4, and this is the most important, make sure it's all about creating real value for humanity. That's the stuff that'll get you through the fire. So if you boil this all down, here's the ultimate takeaway. Real world-changing success isn't about dodging failure. It's about becoming a master architect of your own wreckage. It's about taking the broken pieces from your worst disasters and using them, brick by painful brick, as the foundation to build something incredible. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. The goal here isn't to be the next Elon Musk. The lesson is to find your own grand vision, your own Mars. What's that impossibly huge problem that you want to dedicate yourself to solving? And, maybe more importantly, are you willing to fail over and over and over again to make it happen?